Well, good morning. This is it. It's the 30th of November, Sunday. And Dottie and I and George, there's Dottie. George is underneath Dottie in her little hidey hole, a little tranquilized for the trip. We're leaving we planned it leaving at 8. It's 8:37. So things didn't go exactly as planned, but we're on the road and an estimated arrival time according to Garmin of 2:12 p.m., which means it'll be 3:30. I've gotten used to how far my driving and stopping is off Garmin. So we want to get the trip thing going. We want to reset that, and we'll let you know what mileage that we have. Put it in drive, tow haul mode, and we're off. And I'll check in with you throughout the trip. See you in a few minutes. See you in this, and for you, probably. Okay, I'm back already. It's do it, but I want to tell you something interesting about this trip. So, I've actually been on the road for almost 40 minutes. I am traveling from Artesia, New Mexico to Animas, New Mexico, which is near the Arizona border, with the eventually to get to QUARTZSITE tomorrow. And so it is southwest of here. So here's the interesting thing. You ready? So we're going to go to Texas, and we're going to go through El Paso. And you're probably saying, excuse me? What? Do you need to pick something up in Texas? No, it's actually the most direct route. How can that be? Isn't New Mexico west of Texas? Well, sort of. Not all of it. Doesn't work that way. If you look carefully at a map, you will see there's a little part of Texas kind of juts out to the south. If I drive due south, I end up in Texas. And El Paso, Texas is actually southwest of me. So it's to the west. Crazy, huh? Well, interesting, isn't it? And it's roads and country that I've never seen. So I like that. I'll see you in a few. So here's another little interesting tidbit that happened. I came to an intersection. There's a pickup truck coming the other way, and he flashes headlights at me, and as he passes, I look at him, and he's pointing at me. So I figured, well, he must have seen something I need to take care of. But unfortunately, there was nowhere to pull over, so I went about cautiously another couple of miles, and I pulled over, and I got out, and I could not see a single thing that looked out of place. I have no idea what he was referring to. That said, he saw something. Oh, I just thought of what it might be. I need to check something real quick. I'm gonna get out.
Hang on, I'm gonna move where the flyers are. That feels getting pretty hot.
No, it's not what I thought. If you're curious, this is what I thought it might be. I thought it might be this summer. I had a similar thing happen where someone waved me down, and the hard plastic underneath the engine, part of it had come loose and was dragging. And I ended up taking some baling wire and rigging that back up there, and with the intention of the next time I get an oil change or something, I'll have something more permanent done. And I forgot about it. So I thought he might have seen that dragging, but I just got out and checked. And no.
You're on both of them.
So anyway, so we are on 180, and we've got 140 miles to go before we hit El Paso. We'll hit that right before lunch, and that might be a good area to stop, get a truck stop, and top off our fuel. I think that sounds like a plan. I think we're at 8.6 miles to the gallon. So that's going to be probably good thing to do. 8.6 miles to the gallon. That's terrible, huh? But what can I say? I don't know why it's not better than it usually is, only because I'm carrying so much less weight now that I have the home base and I have a storage unit. We'll see how it does for the rest of the trip. See you in a little while. I think we're getting pretty close to the Texas border here, but I just wanted you to see this road and the mountains. Pretty amazing. I wish it was a little clearer. It's a little hazy, but those are some big mountains in front of us. I've mentioned many times that when I on travel days where I'm hooking up the trailer and going to a new destination, I get very nervous about pulling the trailer, and that always evaporates within the first mile of driving. And for the first time in my memory, today I didn't even have it in the first mile. There was no nervousness at all, with the exception of when that guy flashed his lights at me and I wondered what he's seeing that's wrong with my truck or my rig. He could have been trying to tell me about a police officer. Now that I think about that, a while later I did encounter police by the side of the road, and I didn't make the connection, but I do remember wondering if there's something obvious. I bet that cop will turn around and pull me over, but I think he was just worried me about the police. Now, I just figured that out now by talking about this out loud. And often I will figure things out by talking out loud about it. So I think I figure things out a lot doing YouTube videos, because I'm talking out loud about stuff that's going through my head. And look at this. This looks like the Welcome to Texas sign up here. Welcome to Texas. The pavement color changes. And we are now in the great state of Texas, which I spent close, well, how many years was I in Texas? I think at least between my time in Austin and my time in Dallas, close to 20 years. Yeah, so I don't think there's no other state that I've lived longer in than Texas. But now it's New Mexico. And we are at 8.3 miles per gallon. That's not great. And it only shows we've gone 57.9 miles, so I really got to wonder about what's going on there. Yeah, that doesn't seem very reasonable. I've been on the road now for an hour and a half, and I've only gone 50. Well, maybe. I guess that's got to be right. 58 miles. A lot of it's been slower speeds. don't know. It seems hot. Anyway, I'll be back at you next time I think of something interesting to say or I encounter something interesting. I just turned it back on because the views look pretty spectacular, and I thought you might want to see them. I'm still a little less than 100 miles, I think, from 93 miles from El Paso. See, there's a sign up here so you can see what that says. It says Guadalupe Mountains National Park. So that tends to support my opinion that it's spectacular scenery when somebody said, yeah, it's good enough, so we're going to make it a national park. We'll go over this rise and see if we can get a little bit better view of these mountains. That mountain, the sheer cliff face there, reminds me of, I think it's El Capitan in Glacier National, not Glacier, Yosemite. Very similar looking to me. I bet people climb that, that's for sure. And there you can get a good look at it right here as we go by. Did you hear that squeaking? If you did, I'm sorry, but it was annoying. I've just got a bunch of stuff back there. So we're under 8 miles to the gallon, but 7.9. I got to tell you, I'm not real thrilled about that, but you know, there's a phrase. I don't know when this phrase started, but it wasn't. I don't think it was that long ago, but the phrase is, it is what it is. And I like that. It really, what it conveys is, accept reality. Don't fight reality. That doesn't mean I can't look into how ways to increase or get better gas mileage, but it does mean that there's nothing you could do about it right now driving down the road, Rob. It's 7.9. You're driving in the mountains. Accept it. Enjoy the view. Don't worry about your gas mileage. Wow, this really is pretty spectacular. I had no idea this route would be this enjoyable. Sure enough, the ETA on Garmin is edging up. It's now we started out at, I think, 208 or something. Now it's 225. I've been running parallel both Google Maps and Garmin, interested in the differences. And they deviated, especially around Carlsbad, they deviated, and Google seemed to make more sense, so I took the Google things. And the thing that I really liking about Google is, for example, it said object in the roadway in 0.7 miles ahead, and it said reported by 7 people. And sure enough, there's a thing of, you hit it, it was, I don't know, like an old you know, dorm size refrigerator or something. I don't know what it was, but it was that big, and it was metal, and it was in the middle of the road, and if you hit it, there would be damage. So I was prepared for it, and it also popped up and said was it still there? Yes or no, or something like that. And I clicked, yeah, it's still there. So I thought that was really useful real-time information. And it'll also warn you about, there's a police radar set up. It'll tell you about it. As long as people using Google Maps report it. And I think the way it works is the first person has to be somewhat proactive establishing what they're reporting. And then thereafter, when they get the report and where it is, then every subsequent person either confirms or denies that that thing is there. And that makes it really easy. You don't have to take your eyes off the road to see that message pop up and tap still there or not there. Wow, a lot of radio towers on top of that mountain. Cell phone towers. Well, it looks like maybe we get some downhill, so maybe the gas mileage will improve. I'll let you.
Defendants prevail, and this.
I just wanted to show you as I'm passing this. It's pretty spectacular. This drive through this canyon. Wow. Again, I wish there wasn't so much haze, that it was a clearer day. Okay, going a little bit, I felt for the first time in a long time a little bit of sway from the trailer going downhill a little bit too fast. Got down to like 55. No, the speed limit's 65. When you feel that sway, that's not a pleasant feeling. I don't know what those signs are that are tilted. Almost look like solar panels. Oh, they got a windsock here. It's a little windy. That could have been what I felt. It could have been a gust of wind inside of the trailer. That's probably what, yeah, that's what it was. I just felt it again. It wasn't sway from going too fast. It was sway from, we got a pretty healthy crosswind here. Yeah, definitely. Nothing alarming. Just when you feel it, you feel it. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it in the back. Well, you probably can't hear it in the background because I would have, when I edited this to voice enhancement, it'll take away the background noise. But what you would have heard in the background when you could hear the wind. It's funny that I do these driving videos. If I don't do the editing to take out the background noise, I'll get people that say, I really want to hear the road noise. It just doesn't seem natural to hear in your voice when you're driving no road noise. So I'll do one with road noise. And people say, I can't hear you. I have to turn the volume all the way up. I don't know why you don't do something about that background noise. You can't win. But I've settled on, I do the extra editing and take out the background noise so people can hear what I'm saying clearly. Because my audience is my age. Something like 90% are over 55 years old, and it's not, hearing gets harder as we get older. All right, enough. Well, I'm not that far from El Paso, and there was a long stretch of like salt flats and desert and stuff, and I thought, well, that's going to be it for all the scenic stuff on the way to El Paso. I was wrong. I was wrong. Here it is, and I've got a little over 3 hours to go, and I'm right at half a tank, and I've got a Valero 11 miles, so I'm going to do well on this trip, fueling up at half a tank. And yeah, I'm a little hungry. It's 11:23 by the time I get to the gas station and fueled up. I'll be ready to eat something, so I'll grab something and we'll continue. It's still showing me 2:31 arrival time, but well, that'll have to be moved by at least 15-20 minutes for the stop. So I'm gonna stick by my sometime between 3 and 3:30 is my best guess for arrival at Smugglers Roost RV community, where you can buy your site they start at $15,000. You can buy a site that you can stay there full time. That can be your residence. So we're gonna, I can't remember the circumstances about which I found out about them, but I mentioned them in a video, and they contacted me and said, hey, we appreciate you mentioning our community, and if you ever come by this way, you're welcome to stay here and welcome to do a video. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I am on November 30th, I'm going to be traveling to QUARTZSITE, and I planned on driving halfway and staying overnight somewhere, and it turns out you're almost at exactly the right spot. So they said, okay, we'll take care of you. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay there one night. So that was pretty good scenery, though, don't you think? Okay, so here's the first gas station, and one of the things you want to make sure as you pull up with a trailer, is there sufficient access for me to get in and get my gas? And the answer here is a resounding yes. There's plenty of room. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in and fuel up here. You can see I can easily pull straight through, get my fuel, go in and get something to eat real quick, and we should be good. And
Enforcement gathers.
So I'll be. Well, it was a little bit of adventure. I got into that Valero spot very easily, pumped my gas. Then two unusual things happened. One is that the restrooms, no restrooms. Sorry, they're broken. And I had this huge thing of coffee, and I needed to go. And in the store, there was just nothing remotely interesting to eat. Just standard, like, convenience store, no hot foods or anything. And so, I had to pump the gas. And then the second interesting thing that happened is it stopped pumping it. It's like $50 worth. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I'm fiddling with the pump thinking it's not right. This should be $100. Well, it should be $100 when I'm waiting until the last minute to get gas instead of practicing this half tank thing. It's like, of course, it's $53. That's fine for half a tank. So I saw that. Then I'm on the road that I'm in now, looking for a place where I can get a fast food hamburger or something on the correct side of the road, because you really don't want to, with a trailer, make a lot of U-turns and things. So I finally found this Wendy's on the right here, and I had to sort of drive a side street, and then I could sort of slide in by the dumpsters, and to get out I'd have to back the trailer up into a side street and then go forward and weave my way. I managed to do all that, but I lost probably a half an hour. Now it's saying arrival. Well, I lost 25 minutes between those two things, so it's now showing 2:55 arrival, which is making my original estimate from this morning at 3:30 as probably pretty accurate. But it feels good to stop at the half tank mark, so there's going to be no stress at the end of this trip about me not having enough gas to get where I'm going, because it's showing I have 400 mile range in what I have, and there's only 169 miles left. So and that's plenty of time to plan out when to get my next fill up tomorrow for a QUARTZSITE. And update on 9.8 miles per gallon. So the reality of what was happening with my gas mileage is this. It's that I was on a steady climb into those mountains outside of El Paso for 3/4 of the trip. And then when I was at, I think, 8.8 miles per gallon when I reached the crest and started descending in altitude, I really started picking up efficiency fast. So I'm at 9.8 miles per gallon. So I feel much better about that and now understand why. It makes perfect sense. Well, we got more spectacular scenery as we're just leaving El Paso behind us, where I think very, very close south of here would be the Mexican border. But beautiful scenery. I love this route, and I'll certainly take this route going home in the spring for sure, because it's so much better than the alternative. We're climbing into the mountain, so we're losing a little bit of that mileage efficiency that we had gained. We're at 9.6 miles to the gallon now, and we're still going up in elevation, so we're burning some fuel, that's for sure. But there'll be another side to it. Why does this guy have a bicycle out? That's strange. Oh, it says share the road. There's a bike path. Well, I need to shut up. Oh, there's a bike path there. Yeah, definitely. That's a bike path. All right, we need to pass this truck here.
I've seen lots of stores that have Barbies in them.
Got a little snippet there of the Daily Woo, Adam the Woo. I love his channel. He does a video every single day. Huge channel. And he does mostly traveling. Although I will say when he's at home in Celebration, Florida, and just kind of puttering around in his golf cart. Sitting on benches by the little lake and just talking about what's on his mind. That's the content I really prefer. He's in Europe now, and he's in Italy. So he does a long form video every single day, and it's really good content. Now, if I didn't have Dottie and George, I might consider doing that for a little while, just traveling and, you know, shooting the airplane stuff and the arrival and the seat. But with Dottie and George, it's not happening. I'm not leaving. It was just, have left Dottie once, and that was this year. I went to New York for 3 days, and she was okay with it, right, Dottie? I was not okay with it, and George definitely was not okay with it. All right. So, anyway, now we got a bunch of downhill, so we're going to gain some ground on the fuel. Well, I'm not coming back on to show you beautiful scenery, but it is just wanted to note that we're back in New Mexico. The line came up pretty fast, and I was already couldn't show you the sign or anything because it happened too quickly. I didn't expect it. But certainly have Texas and El Paso in our rear view, and we're about 139 miles away from our destination today. I don't know if you can see up on the left there, it looks like a giant blimp, but it's a device that, it is kind of a blimp, but it's tethered to the ground. There's one like this in Yuma, Arizona, but I'm not an expert. My guess is this is used for border surveillance because it really is. We're right next to the Mexico border. And I would say, looking at that and looking at the map, I would say it is virtually over the border. But it's absolutely enormous. It's pretty high up there, and you go by. It's much bigger than the one that I'm used to in Yuma. It's big. So I know this doesn't look particularly interesting, what you're seeing, but here's what is interesting about it. I'm looking at the Garmin map, and we are running parallel to the U.S.-Mexico border. And as you look out there to the left, there's no wall. There is nothing that I see I can see from the road that indicates that there's an international border right there. But I'm going to guess that's one of the reasons that big object, that big blimp up there is up there to monitor all this unprotected border. I'm sure there's infrared and radar and all kinds of things that can make a distinction between animals movement and human beings. And I bet if it picks something up, it sends out. We passed a large looking border patrol office, so I'm assuming they send people out, send a response team out when they detect human movement out there. But as we're coming up here, the road seems almost on top of the border. There is a fence that is like maybe 3.5 feet tall, maybe 4 feet tall with barbed wire. There are no signs on it though, so I don't know that that's it. I see some orange stakes, but as I look beyond that, I don't see it, out to where the border would have to be for sure. There's nothing that I see. Normally heading west in this area, I'd be on Interstate 10. This is far more, the way Google's taken me this way, it's far more interesting and pleasant and relaxing than Interstate 10, because you can see there's hardly anyone out here. There's a truck parked up here, a big box truck. In the movies, that truck would be filled with people being smuggled across the border, right? I'm willing to bet that if a Border Patrol agent came by here, they'd stop and start asking questions. I mean, for all I know, that it looks pretty abandoned. It could be that's exactly what happened and they haven't gotten around to towing it away. I'm sort of keeping recording because I can't tell exactly how far it is on the map, but we seem to be coming up to a spot that is literally just right on the border. And actually, I don't have anything much to say until we get there, so I'm gonna stop this for the time. I'm pretty sure you can't see it on the camera, but I can see a border wall off in the distance there. Looks like it's a good mile away. And I think we'll get closer to it up here in a little while and I'll show it to you. But there's definitely one of those, you know, the classic border walls that are, you know, I don't know, 20 feet, 25 feet high. You can see it off in the distance here. But I could not before. It just what, I don't know if it was too far off or it wasn't there. I don't know. I couldn't see it, but I could certainly see it now, way off in the distance to the left there. And I see on the road in maybe about 10 miles, we're going to get, I think, right next to it. And I'll show you that. So right here after this curve is where we're going to be the closest that we're going to be on the whole trip physically to the border. I can see it to the left there. I don't know what your view is going to be like after we go around this corner. So I would say it's still at this close proximity. I would say that's still a quarter to it's because of the, I don't know how to judge the size. Could be a quarter of a mile away. I hope you can see some of it, at least the top of it, on screen up here, because it's not going to be long before we're going to start curving away from it. There you can see a good view. That's a pretty good view of it right there. And we are 103 miles from our destination, a little under 1 hour and 44 minutes. The updated ETA for Google, it says 301. For Garmin, it says 303. We shall see. Okay, we have arrived in the little town of Columbus. And I believe I had gotten, I think through the Smugglers Roost website, that the closest real grocery store was 70 miles away. And this is 74 miles away. So I'm guessing this is what they were talking about. It seems fairly substantial. I did check, there's no Walmart or anything, but I bet there's a good sized grocery store somewhere here. Like, actually, what I can do, there's no one on this road. I can just pull over here and I can look for the GPS grocery stores. Let's see. Where to? Categories. Shopping. Grocery stores. Yeah, doesn't look like it. Not on here. Let me try Let me try Google Maps and just type in grocery. So there's a place called Super Vasquez de Sol. It looks like a big supermarket, and that's $3 away. Now, there's a Walmart Supercenter 30 miles from here, but it doesn't say. Yeah, it's in Deming. Yeah. So, anyway, thought I would report that this is a population center 70 miles away, but maybe it's not the one they were referring to. We'll figure it out before the end of the video. Well, we are arriving here in Animas. This is it. This is the center of town, and we gotta maneuver here and try to find the Smuggler's Roost. Here's I guess the four corners here. And it's up here. I think on the left. We'll look. I might, or it could be on the right here. Let's look at the signs. Community center. There's a high school here. There's a church. Where the heck is it? I am not seeing anything that looks obvious. A little worried. Let's read the email. To the entrance road. I'm sorry guys, I don't see it. And I don't see an easy way to turn around. If I need to turn around. And I need to be careful. Like this on the left looks like nice flat land, but that could easily turn into a sand trap. Like, yeah, I could sink into that sand and be really stuck. So, let's pull over here. I'll be back in a second when I figure. Well, I managed to find a place to turn. I managed to find a place to turn around. So
Head east on Big Bin Road toward County Road C001, then turn left onto County Road C001.
So
Turn left onto County Road C001. Continue for 3/4 of a mile.
all right, can we turn the volume down a little on that? Yeah. Okay. I think I just maybe turned the wrong way. I don't know. But we're gonna try this again. Less than a one of the first things they're going to need is really good directions. Really clear directions on how to get to their place. I can help with that, I think, in the video. So it says 0.3 miles on the left, Hatchet Road.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Hatchet Road.
Is this Hatchet Road here? No, not quite. Post office right there.
Turn left onto Hatchet Road.
I
then
see
you
a
will arrive
sign.
at your
I see a
destination.
sign. I see a sign. Smuggler's Roost. There it is right there. We found it. Okay. So let's see what the email says. It says, just head west to the entrance, and on the right you will see a one-story tin roof building with a deck out front that houses our laundry. That must be it right in front of us, don't you think? Yeah, this is definitely the place. Five, 7 minutes. I'm calling a number. I almost said it out loud. It's someone's private number. Hey, Dottie. Well, here we are at Smuggler's Roost. Here's my spot here. Looks like they have laundry facilities here. It says general store, but I'm going to bet it's probably not open on a Sunday. A Sunday at 4:30. Is that what it is? 4:30? 4:50, almost 5 o'clock. But I can take a peek through the window, I bet. Oh, it's just a storeroom. So let's see, we'll take a peek at the restroom. Big, giant restroom and shower. And the laundry. Oh, yeah. Only open it so far. Well, they got some heavy duty. They don't have many of them, but what they do have is pretty heavy duty. Very nice. Very nice. What do you think, Dottie? I had thought, oh, this is where UPS and FedEx delivers packages. It's like a package room. There you go. It really is remote. It's like, how many miles to the nearest one? Oh, I think it's 70 miles. I'll go back in and I'll do some calculations and get back in and tell you before I sign off on the whole video today. I did get here right around 3:30, where that's what I guessed, and I was right. I think they still have lots available here. I think they're location dependent on the price, and I think the minimum price is 15,000. But I tell you, if you like beautiful views and beautiful sunsets and a lot of quiet and being remote, I think you'll like it here a lot. Come on, Dottie. It's kind of a little babbling brook, fountain, nice place to sit. Come on, Dottie, keep walking. Keep walking, dog. Come on, Dottie, let's go. Must be a lot of dogs around here because she really wants to sniff right over there. You see the sun starting to go down over there. So it's they do have a website. It's Smugglers Roost, and the guy that checked me in, he said they're not terribly anxious to be selling lots because there's only a few left, and he said we're going to be sold out probably by the end of the year or early next year. They're not really worried about promoting it. I thought they wanted me to do a whole separate video. No, they don't. Like I said, it's a perfect in-between spot for me between Artesia and QUARTZSITE. And the price is right, $15. I'll do this every trip back and forth for sure, if they'll have me. Well, Dottie, I'll let you stay out here for a little while. She doesn't seem to want to come in very much. And there's George. George, are you mad at me about having to travel today? I hope not. So let me sit down. We'll turn this around. Turn on some lights. Well, that's terrible lighting, isn't it? Just do it like that. How about if we do it like this? All right. Gonna need to do some editing there, I think. All right. So let's see. Google Maps. So we'll type in Walmart here. What's the closest Walmart? And that's going to be in Douglas, Arizona. And that is 61 miles away. And if I do directions from where I am, 1 hour. And let's see. Well, and Douglas is right. It's a border town for sure. So I'm going to guess there's a walk across border crossing there. The Walmart is 0.37 miles to the border. So there you go. There's Walmart in a border town. Let's try Safeway. 75 miles, and that would be in Bisbee, Arizona. And if we were to route there, let's make sure that wasn't measuring it from the wrong place. Yeah, Bisbee Avenue, 64 miles, 1 hour, 15 minutes. All right. So I'm wondering if there's anything else. So there's lots of places I think you can go within an hour radius for lots of services and things, but everything substantial is definitely going to be about an hour away. What was the other thing I was wondering about that I was going to look up? Let me just look up Smugglers Roost website. Let me see what I can tell you from here. It says, at our core, we are artists, writers, musicians, sculptors, astronomers, birders, nature enthusiasts, and generally kind-hearted folk. We're inspired by the area and awe of its natural beauty, its endless sunshine, dark, dead night skies by night, and its rich, opportunistic history. I think that's probably very legitimate. It is beautiful. Those you saw on the little walk the mountains and everything. Roost with us. Site rental rates. So it does say site rental rates $37 a day, but I think he gave me a site that's just electric, so that's why it was 15, I think. But it's $37 for full hookups. $189 a week, $400 a month. And on the $400 a month, the electric is metered. So you might count on another, make it $500, depending on how big your rig is and what time of year it is. It could be more. I'm not really sure. It's a 99-year renewable lease. Let's see about premium site, discounted cash price starting at only $14,999. There are 3 electrical outlets, 250s, 250 amp and 120 amp, water, commercial septic, and free community Wi-Fi. And it's tiered pricing based on location. Oh, there's an on-site telescope. We saw the restroom, shower, laundry room, koi pond. We saw that. There's a dog park. We didn't see that. Outdoor kitchen with sinks, grills, smokers. Adobe brick pizza oven. I did see that, and I didn't really point it out, and I should have. It looked like there were 2 of them. Mama's kitchen with antique, great majestic stove. Gathering center pod. Pavilion with picnic tables, fire pit. Outdoor movie screen, Jensen mineral workshop. Horticulture tents, burning station, butterfly garden. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Frequently asked questions. Oh, there's a how far is this and that? So medical. Gila Regional Medical Center is 83 miles away. It's in Silver City, New Mexico. Animas Valley Clinic. So there's a clinic available. It's less than a mile away. A dentist is 37 miles away. Another hospital 74 miles away in Deming. There's a Best Care Pharmacy is 37 miles away. Walk-in vet 88 miles. Another vet 83 miles. So there's an hour and a half to get to a vet, that's for sure. Let's see, that's all medical. Food and beverage. PW's restaurant, 300 feet. Breakfast, lunch, early dinner, and takeout. I didn't see where that is. I'll have to try to check that out maybe. Sky Islands Grill and Grocery, 18 miles. Rodeo Grocery and Cafe, 20 miles. Portal Peak Lodge Store and Cafe, 25 miles. All right. So what is next? What do we have here? Groceries. See how well I did on that. Boot Heel Grocery is less than a mile away. I saw that. I mentioned it is coming in. Valley Mercantile, 0.8 miles. Convenience store, groceries, fuel, propane. Wind Dancer Farm, 19 miles away. That's farm fresh greens and veggies. Sky Islands Grill and Grocery, 18 miles. Food City, 70 miles away. Walmart, 72 miles away. Both in Douglas, Arizona, as I mentioned. So I think I did pretty well there figuring that out. Repairs and RV parts. Jimmy's RV Repair, 75 miles away. They do, and right here in town, less than a mile away, is Animas Service Center. They do some mechanical vehicle RV repair. So, and is that going to be everything? Yeah, it's pretty. Postal and shipping. The post office I showed you, it's right on the corner here. And UPS does pick up on a daily basis. Valley Mercantile UPS, less than a half a mile away, is an authorized shipping provider. FedEx does pick up, just not on a daily basis like UPS does. So that's it for today. I'm going to try to upload this or edit this real quick, upload it, and get it out before it gets too late. I hope you're enjoying my odyssey getting from Artesia, New Mexico into QUARTZSITE. We'll be in QUARTZSITE tomorrow, and I'll show you that trip too.